home, snail mail in some cases. What do you think your clients want in the future? The Mercedes look awfully nice. They want convenience. They want savings, both time and money. They want versatility. They want access. They want quality service, and they want the modern, accepted experience. They also want to see current styles and integration. How can we prepare for that? We can be educated. We can educate. We can engage our team members, remembering that your clients are also your team. You can have the available tools and technology, both for yourselves and for your clients. You can integrate modern thinking, but don't forget experience. How can we attract and retain millennials and the X, Y, and Z? Make sure that you're up on current technology. Make sure you have what you need and don't have what you don't need. Make sure to offer a great experience both for your clients and for your employment. Make sure that you're versatile, that you're modern thinking, that you're moving forward, that you're listening and engaging, and that you remain educated and continue to educate. Focus on their best interests and their security in their business. And making sure that you're keeping life short, sweet, and simple. Thank you.
Young folks up there already. I'm telling you now, you see what's out there?
Okay, we can go home now.
Yeah. You see eagles like this up here, just remember, eagles don't flock. We got to go find them. Right? Great job.
They do flock at TMC, however.
Yeah. She's hired. She's hired. I just paid the plane ticket.
There you go. All right, who's our next volunteer?
No one wants to follow that, huh?
Everybody wants to go last.
See, we blew them all away.
If I don't get a volunteer, right? You don't understand that. Okay. I tell you what. Where were my hands end up? Right there. Come here. Bruce.
Man, you knew that before you came here.
I'm gonna go get a tripod. Can you just hold this and keep it running?
What's up, Houston?
Do that again, Jay. What's up, Houston? I feel like Nick
Should we
Schmidt
photo
up here.
monument? That was very hard.
Okay, so we are the millennial magicians at this table back here.
Yeah.
We have 113 years of combined experience delivering the best service in our respective industries. We had some deep conversations over there, and it was interesting because we all have different ages, different industries that we're in. There were some commonalities, and we also disagreed on a few things. But these are some of the things that we did agree on. First of all, business is moving faster now than ever. Change is faster than ever. People expect you to be on the cutting edge and ready with the newest technology, the newest offerings, and information. And they want that without having to connect with us. They want to connect with a website. They want to connect with technology. They want to reach out and grab that information and internalize it and make certain decisions before they ever talk to a perceived salesperson. That's what people are expecting now. And so as we were going through this, we were talking about what people value the most. And we keep getting back to information. They want to know information about your company, about your industry, about how you do what you do, how environmentally friendly are you, what is the experience going to be like, how are you going to deliver the service, what systems are you using. They want to know your reputation, they want to know who started the company, what the history of the company is, and again, they don't want to necessarily hear it from a person. They want to reach out and find that information. And so we have to make sure that it's readily available to them. They also want a very slick and lean experience. They don't want it to be clunky. They want to push a button, and they want things to happen when they push that button. They don't want a whole lot of back and forth. They want to make a decision, and they only want to pay for what they want. And you may have to take your service apart and give it to them and offer it in different modules, because they may not want everything that you offer. What you offer as a complete system may not be of interest to them. They just want pieces of it. And so you have to make that available to them. So we were talking about how we might be able to really meet these challenges. And let's face it, we're talking about younger people here. These people think, move, and react faster than I'm accustomed to doing it. I like to think and ruminate. Many of us have been in business for a long time. We have certain ways that we do things. But the old way's not going to keep working with these young people. They came up with a cell phone in their hand. They came up with laptops. They came up doing things that we could have only dreamed of doing 20 years ago. And they're expecting their experience with our companies and our services to emulate what they're accustomed to. Some people say that they have a sense of entitlement. I don't think that's what it is. I don't think they're all feeling entitled. What I think is they have higher expectations about the way things are supposed to come to them. And we created that. You know, we created this service economy. And so they feel as though they are deserving of that. And it's up to us to figure out a way to deliver it. How do we do it? We integrate the latest technologies, and we make sure that we deliver the service in a way that makes it easy for them to make decisions, makes it easy for them to buy, makes it easy for them to pay, and makes it easy for them to have stellar experiences. You know, these are people who GoPro everything that they do. It is all about the experience. So we've got to figure out ways to use technology to deliver that. Some of the ways that we thought we could do that. Facebook, using texting more, makes me uncomfortable, makes them feel warm and fuzzy. We got to bring that in. Providing, and we were talking about both as consumers and as potential employees, providing flexible hours, providing meaningful things that our company does in the community. If they're employees, letting them become involved at that level. And if there are customers or consumers, helping them to understand that we are involved in doing some of these things. So I guess in closing, we would just say this. The millennials are definitely the future. It's our job as they come up to help to make them the leaders that we hope that they'll be and take over with a smooth handoff.
All right. Tough decision today to get a winner out of this group, because it's all been winners so far. Believe it or not, the only way my grandkids, I learned to communicate with them, I kept noticing nobody returned my phone calls. I had to learn how to text. As soon as I sent a text, I got a response back. This was several years back. But that's the way it is. And this was so, sometimes as older adults, right, we got to learn new things. And it ain't easy. It's not easy for us. Right, Ralph?
Yeah.
All right, some great reports so far. Now, who wants to be our next volunteer? Here we go.
All right, well, I don't think I've seen a D up here presenting yet, so we're going to make this quick, simple, and easy. That's what our new generation wants anyway. So we've got 83 years of experience at our table right now. But the way we look at that is that doesn't matter, because that's looking in our rear view mirror right now. We're looking out the big windshield out front. So we're all kind of on the same playing ground when it comes to trying to learn our new generation that's coming into not only our workforce, but also as our customers. How has business changed? Real simple. Technology and culture has forced us to make things quicker, faster, more efficient, and more on demand than ever before. So it's a continual challenge to keep up with that, and the only way that we can is to continue to educate ourselves at awesome seminars like this that we're at now. What has changed in the client's expectations? Well, again, it's everything They want the availability of information now. They don't want to wait for it. They want the experience now. So that's what we have to try and keep up with. And again, if we're looking back in the mirror, we can't get to that. We have to continue to develop ourselves and our teams so that we can keep up with technology and times. What will clients want in the future? I think it was best said yesterday when we were with Dr. Michelli. FACE, fast, accurate, caring, and easy.
Boom!
And how can you prepare for that? Well, we need to continue to learn and develop and be aware of our new culture that is, again, not only our customer, but in our workforce. So how can we attract and retain millennials? We need to continue to find the ways to make them an asset by utilizing and developing the resources that we have. What we have works, but it only works if we continue to fine-tune it.
I'm gonna tell you what, we can take everything we've heard so far, put it in a seminar for people to help them be successful.
Absolutely.
No kidding. Great reports. All right, so we've only got one table left.
Yeah, we do. We
Oh.
Bring up some.
Thank you. Well, at our table during our discussion, we realized that we had over a century of expertise, knowledge in a variety of industries ranging from architecture, financial services, professional services, personal services. So we've kind of dabbled in a little bit of everything. And so we attacked each of these questions just by thinking, hey, what's the best information we can give the business owners in the room to take back and employ in their businesses? So first one, how has business changed? Business has changed dramatically over the years. Government intervention is wreaking havoc in a lot of our industries. There's less genuine human interaction today than we've ever seen before. We see a lot of businesses that are so focused on the bottom line that they forgot how they make that money with their people. They forgot that the hearts and souls and dreams of their staff members should trump how much can I get it, what's in it for me. And so businesses that maybe used to have those wonderful stories that we hear about, of course, when we come to the Howard Partridge events, like people doing life together, that's the exception versus the rule. Our clients' expectations have also changed because as a society and business in general, we have failed on delivering an excellent customer experience. So now our customers fall really into two fields. One, they're over here where they know the service is gonna suck and they expect it, and that's sad. The other group is over here, and they want the top dollar experience, but they don't want to pay for it. So we have to figure out as business owners how to get in the middle and find our sweet spot. How do we make sure that we can deliver what it is that helps us with our bottom lines as well? And first thing you have to think about is what are the clients going to want in 5 years? What are they going to want? They're going to want a lot of the things that you guys said they're going to want. They're going to want faster, more service, more options, flexibility. They want all kinds of things. But we have to marry what they want with what we can provide efficiently, because we cannot be everything to everyone. Because I really feel like that's why we're in the situation that we're in today. Hey, let's try to get as much business as we can to get everybody to come and support our business, and then we find out that we now are that mediocre middle. We didn't focus in our area of expertise. We didn't bring the best we had because we didn't even focus on what the best we had was. And it infects every area of our business, from the ownership to the staff members, all the way down to our clients. No wonder they're polarized. How can we prepare as business owners? Well, Joseph Michelli did say so many amazing things yesterday, but one of the things that struck our group in particular was we have to find the places in our business where we only need parity, where we need to be keeping up. We don't need to be on the bleeding edge. right? There's a difference. A lot of people are on the leading edge. There's a little tiny ship, and then you can literally put yourself out of business by being on the bleeding edge. What we really need to find is that one place where we shine, where we're rock stars. What's our passion? What's our team's passion? How can we highlight our differences and make sure that we stay in parity in those areas that are really important? Of course, technology, keeping up. And then finally, I think the most important question of all was the last question. How do we attract millennials? I think we all have to step back and realize what we're complaining about. We're complaining about ourselves because we raised our millennials. We tried to give our children more than we had, and in the process, we forgot a few things.
Amen.
We forgot about values
Amen.
to instill them. It's not that we don't have them, it's just that we forgot how important it was to say, hey, honey, son, Ange, whatever, this is important. And because we forgot, now we blame our millennials for being the way they are. We got to meet them where they are because, frankly, we put them there. All right? We need to provide a loving environment. A loving environment that doesn't go as far as Zappos went, which is where they loved them into the place now where now that wonderful entity is in turmoil. We need to embrace technology. We need to make sure that they're engaged and that they have the flexibility that a lot of you guys talked about, where we don't just try to fit them into our nice little 9-to-5 box and just stick them in the room. It's not going to work. They expect more, like Bruce said, and they should, and we should be proud of that. We want to encourage our kids to expect more. They have a yearning for connection that I don't think we've seen in other generations. And I think they have a yearning for connection because we didn't provide it. Because we were so busy out there chasing the dollar. Moms coming out of the homes, dads leaving the homes. Think about it from a societal standpoint.
Yeah.
We created that challenge, and now they want to be connected. So we see this as disconnected and unengaged, but this is their connection. So we got to meet them where they are. Like Joseph Michelli said, meet them where they are and then do what? Take them where you want to go. And how we're going to do that is by providing connection and making sure that we are doing that connection within loving boundaries so that we give them something to aim for. In the end, it's all about what Howard said. It's super exciting right now. The millennials are going to help us grow our businesses. I watched a 21-year-old woman on TV a couple of nights ago who has a whole industry, and she takes all of her garbage that she's had for 3 years, did you guys see this, and puts it in a little jar. And that's a millennial at work figuring out, how do I save the planet? That's exciting. And how do we get that energy in our business? We do what Howard said. We support each other, our staff, our clients, and our new hires. We encourage each other because people are starving for encouragement. And finally, we hold each other accountable. We don't let our friends, our family, our coworkers, or our clients off the hook. And that's how we make a difference in the world.
All right, man, that's great reports. Before I ask you to vote on who you thought was a winner, and by the way, you cannot vote for your own person. Each table cannot vote for your person, all right? So that way, we'll work that out. I've asked Tyler just to put a couple of notes together. He's second year in college, is that right? Second year in college. To just say, hey, what is your age group talk about? What are you looking for in terms of the future? What are your concerns? What are your challenges? Anything he can say. And then Denise, maybe you and Christina can come up here and join him in a minute and tell us what your opinions are. And then we'll let the group out here that are over 25, all right, throw some questions out at you, all right? Here we go. Is that working?
No.
Oh, okay, very good. All right, so, hey, everybody. Second year in college. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Hey guys, as you know, my name's Tyler. I'm Sherry Perry's son. A little bit about me. I'm in college right now. Just finished up my aviation degree, and
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you guys have heard a little bit about it. Probably seen some pictures along the way too. So, I mean, what do we talk about? I mean, thinking about what you guys were talking about earlier, I didn't realize how much we actually do talk about work at home and how much we talk about home at work. It's kind of funny how we actually do integrate those two things. And what do we want? I mean, at least for the college people, we want to go into our field right out of the gate and be making bank, making it rain, as people say like that. We want it to be an easy transition for us. And what are we worried about? No one wants to be stuck. I can't even stand sitting at a desk all day, doing mundane tasks, just doing one thing after another. No one wants to be stuck in position either. I mean, I always want to be able to do one more thing, always. See, I work for the airlines, work for Delta, Frontier, and Allegiant right now. And sure, I could just throw bags, but I always want another stepping stone or another place I can go. So get qualified as a load master for Frontier, do cargo for Delta, anything like that. I mean, what do we want in a job? Obviously, we want it to be fun, want it to be flexible. We kind of want to be a customer as an employee. Kind of the same things. You want that technology, you want the fun, fast. No one wants to be doing the same thing, like I said earlier. Let's see. Flexible schedules, obviously. I mean, I know how we were talking about the attention spans a little bit earlier. I mean, I work for split shifts. I think that's perfect for me. It's like working 3 or 4 hours at a time. It's keeping my attention span good. Go have some fun in between shifts. Go back to work, get bored, go back, have some more fun, do some homework, stuff like that. And let's see, most of all, I want to creating an experience for the customers. I think that's kind of a cool job as an employee. I think that's about all I have. Do you guys have any questions?
Right. Bunch of questions.
All right, Christina, you're up.
Well, let's do this. Just first of all, if someone would ask me to do what I asked Tyler to do when I was his age, I'd have said, I'm out of here. All right? I just think it's great. Here's a second-year college kid up here doing something in front of a business group. I think it's fantastic. Now, what I'd like to do is have Christina, why don't you come up, and Denise, why don't you come on up here. And I'd like all of you to just take about 30 seconds, write down a question that you'd like to ask these folks. All right, just write it down, all right? One question that you could ask these younger folks up here, all right? Write it down, all right? You already know it? Everybody's already got their question? All right, who has the first question? All right, please stand. Dave?
Something you said, Tyler, that really stuck out to me is they want that you'd like to experience designing an experience for the customer. Can you tell me a little bit more what you meant by that?
I know listening about people being accountants or being behind the job. So where I work throwing bags and a couple other things for some of the airlines, like I said. Sure, it's fun just to throw bags for every once in a while, but you want to be able to have fun making that experience. So the experience of other people or the customer is that people are just throwing bags. I want an experience too. I don't want to just be making the experience for other people. I want my experience to be a good experience, making the experience. So.
Do you mean by that you would like to help the business owner design that experience for the rest of the employees? Would you like to be involved in that process of designing that experience?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's always good to make your own, make your own experience. Yeah.
Okay. Bruce, please stand. And by the way, you can ask, if y'all would like all of them to give their opinion, or whoever up here, you can do that also. Now, here's two folks in the working force, but they're fairly young, and they might be able to share some things with you since they're actually in it. So let's take advantage of what they've already learned in the short time they've been out there. All right.
All right, so I'm going to ask, what is your name?
Denise.
Denise. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to ask Denise. This is kind of a deep question, but I don't know if there's anything that your age group feels is the answer to this. But what do you think the biggest danger is to the future of mankind? And do you think there's an answer? In other words, what do you think our biggest threat is as a species?
I think the biggest threat is to not have structure in everything. if you don't have structure, then there's nothing that's going to lead you to success. So even though the millennials like to be free-spirited, like to explore, there still needs to be structure. So I feel that if we don't have that, then the future will be in despair. It won't have the guidelines of where they went too far.
That's a
or where-
surprising answer.
Yeah. Very surprising.
Well, thank you.
Great question, by the way.
Yeah.
Did you agree with that?
Okay, next question?
Well, no, if they wanted to comment too, they can. I
Okay, go ahead.
was.
Go ahead.
I would accompany that with addition to structure is accountability and self-worth. We live in a society where we don't have the modern white picket fence family anymore. We have multi-generational families raising multi-generations. We have different family members participating in the core of a family, which is no doubt why there's an issue with structure. So I think accountability and proper communication and self-worth are also vital to instill. And as you see the changes in the cultures within the homes, those are going to be coming in a non-modern way, but they need to be happening.
I just might add on the technology side is that when people get so used to bad customer service, like my mom said, it's like, is no service better than bad service? When you're talking to like ordering online, or is that be better than getting a bad service on the phone, or talking to someone in person?
That is a really good question.
Yeah.
I,
That's
for
a
one,
good
like the
question.
person interaction. I do. Surprise. But I also like the fast and efficiency of ordering my pizza online and having it ready. But when I go pick it up, guess what I get to do is talk to somebody. So, no.
Very good. Next question?
That's the I, not the lineal, that's the I.
Chris, stand?
Oh, I'm done.
Oh, you
I have a
done?
question.
Okay, go ahead.
So my question is, how often do you engage in social media yourself? Now, granted, I know Sherry Perry's in the room, so for work, but I'm talking about like if you could just be on social media, how, like when it's a weekend or when it's a day where you're not having to be held accountable not to be on, how often are you on? And what types are you on?
I do have a Facebook and an Instagram. I don't use Instagram. I had one of my friends set it up for me. I don't know much of a. Oh, I do have a Snapchat. I use Snapchat quite a bit.
Do you Snapchat quite a bit?
I do Snapchat. It's kind of a new, it's like a FaceTime over text kind of thing. But
How much is quite a bit? Like how often are you going on to some form, checking my phone to see or put something or watch something or see something? And that could be YouTube too and all that stuff.
maybe once an hour, if that.
Okay.
Once an hour?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
How about you, Christina?
Oh, no, sorry, that's how often you check it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like,
How long do you stay on once you get on?
not very long. I've logged on Facebook for like maybe 2 or 3 minutes at a time just to see what's new. But like if I have my ideal weekend like you're talking about, I wouldn't be on Facebook at all. I'd be outside doing stuff.
Did you pick up on that answer to see what's?
Yeah. Anyone else?
I go on Facebook once a day, and sometimes I feel like I need to go on it more just to catch up on what's happening with my friends and family. So when I do go on it, it's usually when I wake up early in the morning while everyone is still sleeping, so it doesn't take time away from my family. And that's the only one I use.
So I use a multitude of social media: Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, YouTube, for a couple different reasons. One, as a mom, I want to make sure I know what's going on in my kids' life, and the only way I can do that is to keep up with them on where they're going that isn't seen in front of me. So I monitor their lives by monitoring what they're seeing. We use things like Facebook to make sure that distant family members and friends can stay engaged in what's going on with us in our life daily, such as posting family pictures, events. But we also use it, or I use it also, to research potential clients or desires that I want for clients. It's a way that I can learn about them without inconveniencing them with a phone call or an email. So I can start my research using their social media. It also gives me an idea about integrity. What are other people thinking? What are other people doing? And it's convenient.
So my follow-up question to that is then, would you like a work environment that would allow you to be on social media? Well, each person gets to answer that. That would allow you to be on social media at pockets throughout the day, so that you weren't so disconnected for like 8 hours, but would allow you to engage in your own personal time, like for a break here and there? Or does it not matter for you individually?
I don't really care because most of my friends I actually work with. It's kind of a super young group. But,
We have time for one more question, okay? Who has the last question?
So I wanted to explore this, because I haven't really thought about this before, but that whole split shift concept of how you're scheduling the blocks of time and how you work. So how does it work for where you work, and then do you have other friends that work in other places, and do they get to do that kind of split shift type work, and how does it work?
my job's kind of unique because I work at a kind of a smaller airport. So I work at 4:30 to 7:30 in the morning, then I'll fly from say 9 to 11, come back at 11, and work until 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Then if I need more hours, then I can go back at night. But just kind of go around the airplane schedule. And then for other people, I don't really think there's many other jobs like that. That's where I'm at.
Dave has one more.
I have a question, if I can ask it. I don't want to take any time, but if there's time, I'll take one more. Yes?
We had 2 minutes. One over here, right here, and then we're going to have to move on.
So mine was more of a comment. I'm also millennial, but I've just in this conference I've posted 18 times on Instagram and Facebook, all related to the conference. But I take care of our social media just because I wanted to, not because my boss asked me to, just because I strictly wanted to, because I get so many referrals and so many people asking me, and it's not like Yelp and other places where you can go and do reviews. Facebook is flat out honesty. Like there's no fake reviews, there's no, oh, I don't want to offend somebody, it's full on like, dude, this person sucks, even if it's your friend, like, sucks, don't use them, or this person's fantastic, go with them no matter what. And and it's kind of weird that I'm saying this, but I feel like a sense of self-worth to a point to where when I post something, how many likes I get via a post, it gives you like a sense of self-worth. And whether, if it's only a few, be like, oh man, that was a bad post, that sucks. It's really dumb, but it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
And there's other ones where like, I have one with Howard, it's really funny, his little back page thing, I have one of him and his picture, and then one of me and him together, and I posted it on Facebook, and I just got all kinds of funny likes. Be like, oh, that's Howard, on a screen, and that's Howard in person, and he's darker in person, and it's...
I'll put you on the spot real quick, because we got to move on. We got a lot to cover. If you had to pick one thing at your age in the workforce, most important thing to you, that you would want in the workforce, what would it be?
Growth.
Huh?
Growth.
Growth.
Yes. Another word for growth is movement.
Movement. Okay. How do you mean movement?
Both physical movement and being able to move up in a...
To be able to have the opportunity to move up in the company. Okay. And what would help you to do that more than anything else?
Probably structure.
Structure, training?
Yeah.
Good, thank you. All right.
Mine is flexibility and dreaming.
I hear flexibility a lot from the younger folks. I don't know about you, but I really enjoyed this. I got an education.
I know you do. You better get that break food out there.
I know. We're going to do it. All right, now here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Take this piece of paper off of here, just write it down, or pull it off, write down who you think gave the best presentation. Now,
Are we doing it by one table vote?
I want to give you a number, just a second, all right? This is table 1 over here. Leader, please stand. All right, this is leader 1, okay? All right, this is 2 over here. Bruce, please stand. Number 2, just write down Bruce, put 2.
Like American Idol.
All right.
Number.
All right, and 3 is Denise, please stand. All right, let's go over here. Chris is 4, and Sherry is 5. You cannot vote for your own.
Blake Shelton over here.
All right, so you cannot vote for your own. So everybody write down on a piece of paper. Everybody gets to vote, and put the number down. All right.
So everybody is voting.
Everybody gets to vote, but you cannot vote for your own person. All right. Everybody can vote for their own person.
This is the honor.
This is the honor system. Bring them up here to me.
Oh.
And who's got real, who's real good at math? I'll do it right for those 4. Here's what I'm going to ask you. Let me know what you got here.
So you'll be 2 minutes.
Now listen carefully. Listen carefully. I need someone else to count. How many years of experience of owning a business was at this table over here?
112.
All right, somebody add that up. Who can count for me? 112, right? Yeah, 112. Add it up.
113.
How much?
113.
113.
That's 7 people, we're only 5.
113. Okay.
Yeah, you were happy.
All right, this table here.
Well, right now, where's the winner?
Okay, hang on. Go back here. 93. 83.
83. Well, right now, we're the winner.
83 over here.
110.
110 years, all right? Do I have everybody? Over 3. 117, all right? So total that up and tell me how many years of leadership owning a business we have total. 535 years. Now, folks, this is why, now listen carefully. I need y'all's attention. This is why, when you come together in your own pods and your own things like that, all this years of experience of working together. And when you go back to your staff, think about how many years of experience is on your staff of them being on your team. And what could that mean if you start really getting this kind of information out of them? See what I'm saying? Get them to open up, get their ideas, get them to talking about how they can do things even better. What do they need to make things happen? All right, real quick, then we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to bring Howard up here. All right? Y'all got it, Jen? Almost.
I'll have to see that stuff.
All right. I need a drum roll. Winner is. Hey, you got some peanuts you can bring? The winner is. Tell you what, kind of in the middle. Bruce!
Now that's how it's dinner.
Oh, okay. All right, very good.
All right.
We shall serve you.
We like you, you know that
There
we're
we
gonna
go.
share it, huh?
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got any metafast in there?
It was meant to be.
Alex, you're not approving this.
I got something.
Thank you, y'all. Thank you, thank you. Everybody got their snacks over here. There's water, snacks, fruit, and all that stuff.
Yeah, let's take a group.
We've got a lot to cover in a short amount of time.
People
so
let
I'm gonna
us
ask
take